Before we start this course, there's a pretty big issue we need to address. It has come to light that during the recording of this course, what we thought was a great Mark Soden's vocal isn't a great Mark Soden's vocal. It is in fact Commercial EDM Vocals 1 from Producer Loopsfor. My friend here, Phil, naturally presumed it was Mark Soden singing and that he had found the next massive vocalist in house music. With that said, it is in no way Mark's fault. We just presumed it was his vocals and we're really, really sorry. However, it is a really good course and you're going to learn a lot. So roll titles. Okay guys, thank you very much for joining us in this Fix My Mix track with me, Phil. No, I'm Chris.
It's a good start for our first video back for a long time. Yes, that's Chris. I'm Phil. And we are going to do a Fix My Track type thing. I was just on the Make Pop Music group and I came across this track that I thought the vocal was really good, but the production was kind of letting it down a wee bit. So I got in touch with Mark, whose track it is, and he's agreed to let us use the track to just hopefully improve some elements of it over the course of a couple of videos.
It's not so much a Fix My Mix, we're going to do a little bit of production.
Yeah, we're going to do some production, just sort of, we'll let you hear Mark's original track actually, and then we can sort of talk over that.
I could always be the one you wanna call when it's cold outside.
So really super nice vocal.
I will always
that was the first thing that sort of drew me.
Right here,
to me, it's bang on the money. It's really contemporary. It's very Post Malone. And the actual song really instantly attracted me. But yes, it went on too long before.
Yeah, the intro. I mean, like, I'm like trying to get into something happening within 30 seconds. Something big happening within 30 seconds.
I like this build here, but at bar 33, you can see it. I feel like something should drop. We've had a little bit of discussion of what stylistically, what do we do with it? You know, we listened to Post Malone Circles, and we listened to some other poppy stuff. So
yeah,
we think a kind of
Chelsea Jade, that kind of stuff, just sort of modern pop, dancey, synthy pop sort of vibes.
Mark he wanted deep house.
Yeah, he'd mentioned deep house was the vibe he's going, so we'll try and keep that in mind as well when we're going.
I promise I'll be all that you want. Catch me now, I can't leave. Hold me now, I'm yours now, believe. Yours.
So there we go. That's sort of the guts of the track. Doesn't kick in soon enough, really.
No, you're waiting and you're waiting. There's brilliant anticipation in the vocal and the pre-chorus all works, but you're just kind of let down production-wise. And then when it eventually does kick in, it's a bit. At the moment, I think it's very much a demo. So we're going to attempt as quickly as we can, sort of kind of fast-track build
to zoom it up a bit. So one of the other things that, and this maybe is to do with there not being as much production in the early parts and it being sort of sounding like a long intro, but I wanted to sort of make more of a definition about the chords and the different sections. So initially, I've loaded up the project here, and initially the markers were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and all that stuff. So I've sort of markered it out roughly where I see.
You've markered it?
Markered it.
You've laid down some markers?
I've laid down some markers. For a verse, I've sort of called this the pre-chorus, verse 2, chorus. So I'm going to loop around this section, and what I've done is just tried to revoice the chords just to create more of a definitive difference between each of the sections, and also to create some builds in the chord structure that sort of builds anticipation towards a chorus. So I will solo this, and I will solo the main vocals, which are down here. I'll turn that up a bit.
Could always be the one you wanna call when it's cold outside. I will always be the one that's right here standing by your side.
And so you wanted a different chord structure here.
Open up your heart and let me in.
Yeah, so this is a very common thing I do. So I work in C minor for almost everything because that's just the key that I know most. So anytime I get a production in, I'll always put a pitch thing on it to just bring it into that key, so I can instantly, I just know all the transitions, all the chords, roughly speaking.
Yeah. And do you think that's a good thing to do? Is to, you know, if you're not a hugely proficient player, to learn one area and just know the chords and what works and what doesn't work. So
yeah, of course. I mean, I know C major and I know C minor, and they're the sort of two that I can generally work in. C minor is probably my preferred one. But there's, you know, generally speaking, for verses, you want to start on the tonic minor, which is just, you know, the C minor, and then you want to try and keep it in minors, and then you want to build towards majors as you're progressing. Depends on the track, obviously, but pop music, you know, generally speaking, your verses you want to start on minors because that's sort of a more moody vibe, and then as you progress, you want to maybe
up chorus, so you move to maybe slightly more major keys, or
add a few more majors in there. And in the pre-chorus thing for builds, I don't probably do this too much actually in our own stuff, but
I will always be the one that's right here standing by your side.
drop into this G sharp minor,
Open
G
up
sharp
your
major.
heart and let me in. I promise not.
That progression to me for a pre-chorus just really creates a build. Keyboard's not switched on.
but it's a riser. It's rising, you know.
And that comes from like all loads of classic dance stuff, Offshore and all those tracks used similar type things. If you do like your wee twiddly bit on the top.
There you go.
That's used a lot.
And do you think pre-chorus has become, in the last sort of 10 years, has become a big thing, this pre-chorus? It wasn't, you know, 20 years ago when we were making stuff, pre-chorus wasn't so much.
It was just a verse-chorus type thing.
Yeah. Now pre-chorus has become this secondary element that...
Yeah, I mean, it's quite common, you know, when we're working on stuff that we're looking for a verse, a pre-chorus, a chorus, and a post-hook, or a post-chorus hook.
We used to call the middle eighth. Is that?
No, a middle eighth would be another separate section. So you'd have your sort of chorus, which is, you know, says your stuff. And this has got it here. So you've got your chorus, which is...
Catch me now. I can't leave. Hold me now.
So that's obviously regular chorus.
Yours now,
And this is a post-hook, or what I would call post-hook.
Okay, so
still using the chorus chords, still in the chorus mode, but...
It's a variation on the chorus, is it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, that's the guts of the chords, and I think in the next videos we'll start searching around for vibe in terms of the drums. What I'll do at the next point is we will try and build everything around that chorus.
Yeah, first,
yeah, because we want the chorus to be exactly how we want it, and then we can sort of use elements backwards.
Yes.
You know,
you take stuff back out and sort of
exactly
turn stuff down and filter things away, and it's that way.
I've always done that.
Just before we wrap this video, we played around with some chords. We were going to have G major, you know, at the end of the pre-chorus.
Yeah.
And it all became a bit... You're listening and going, you know, what does that say to the listener? And it became a bit... We thought jazz hands.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting, really cool ear candy, but it became the Greatest Showman type show tune.
Yeah,
you know?
it is a common thing, probably more in guitar music, where people would go to those changes and bring in a major key to create a shift. But I think as well, because we decided for the chorus we weren't going to land on a major note, we're going into a minor on the first note. We're going back to that C minor, just because it is a sort of has a moody vibe. You don't want to go boom, a real sort of, you know,
let's go happy,
which would be the other option. But yeah, so I think the chords are nice. I mean, it's not totally dissimilar to what Mark had done in the first place. We just sort of changed a few elements around.
And what the big takeaway would be defining 3 chords, the verse, the pre-chorus, and the chorus have their own now sections.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Okay, so there we go. That's the first one. In the next video, we're going to
look at drums.
look at drums. We're going to get some sort of vibes going with drums. So see you all there, guys. Thanks everybody for watching, commenting, and indeed liking. We really do appreciate all the support we get here on our Sonic Academy YouTube channel. So if you found this video super useful, please, we'd love you to hit the subscribe button. We update the YouTube channel every week with new content. And if you want to watch some more relevant content, just click on the videos beside me.